Michigan Bro Show. Oh, are we live? Oh, cheers, everybody. Hey.
We are live.
Bros,
What's up, chat? Welcome to the Michigan Bros Grow Show.
Another beautiful intro brought to you by Red Center Farms.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Our solo artist.
Light them if you got them.
Just so YouTube's listening, we have permission from Red to use that audio.
Yeah,
I mean, he did it.
they take down our episode.
We're gonna have to get monetized for that.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody.
Trying to find the episode. I didn't have my chat up, so.
What's up, live chat? Make sure you have live chat open, guys.
I do. I have it open and live.
Cheers. Anything gross? How you doing today?
So yeah, how's everybody doing?
From a 4-hour drive. She just left here
Oh,
4 hours ago. She got home just in time for the show. So that's some dedication for you.
Yeah.
I bet she would have been listening on the road, even if she wasn't home in time.
Oh, for sure. She was listening to the Cheap Home Grow. She was chatting along in chat, so for sure.
Wait, is that like chatting and driving, or?
Yes, it is.
You can use voice.
Yeah, voice to text. It works like 30% of the time.
Yep.
Oh, actually, we experienced a very funny. Speaking of voice commands, it was actually what's the word? A hand gesture, I think is the term they're using now. So on Friday night on my new podcast, we had Med Grower 1 on, and he kept doing this certain hand gesture, and it took us until after the episode to figure it out. It was his phone putting balloons up around him every time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I kept thinking I kept thinking it was one of the other panelists, like Pedro or like Superior Buds messing with him or something.
So wait, every time he did a hand gesture, the phone did it?
Yes, and I think it was like either okay or something. There's some hand gesture that triggers it. And so
like this.
Yeah, it took us for a while to figure it out.
I thought what you guys were doing it, dude. That's
Let's Be Buds does the same thing on his.
It's just randomly doing that.
Yeah, every time he did whatever hand gesture it was, it put balloons on his screen because he was casting from an iPhone.
You go like this, and it'll make hearts.
I thought you guys were doing it because it was the guest.
Yeah, dude,
it's wild.
I'm like, who keeps doing this? Pedro was getting this big old smile every time, and I'm like, I just thought it was him.
That was a really great episode, though. By the way, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I'm looking forward to having each one of you guys on there to share your experiences and talk about the variables of growing and processing and everything that we're involved in. But yeah, it's been fun. We'll try to get some old school guests in there. Actually, this coming Friday, we got Bubble Man, which we're pretty excited about.
Hell yeah!
Oh, cool.
And then 2 weeks from this past Friday, I guess the week following, Baked, you'll be happy to hear we've got Stephen Landry, Cannabis Mechanical, coming on.
Oh, reheat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he'll actually talk about it.
I mean,
he's kind of an asshole, but
I know.
And he just skims the surface of everything, so you never get a good understanding. I got the most understanding from Armitage that day.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. And then so then we had a reset at work. I have to go inside the big box of the AC, and I have to take out a pipe to clean. I'm looking at it, and I see where all the wires are going in. I'm like, you can see the outline. It's just that's where the on the other side, that must be where our coils are.
Where the reheat goes
you
on.
just take out, if we were to just swap that out. But I think I may have the boss interested in seeing what we can do. So
nice. Yeah. It just been talking and thinking about them a lot lately, and just how it's another variable that goes into the growing, especially when it comes to the commercial side. I think, and I don't have a ton of experience in the commercial side of things, just kind of helping really getting the grows going more than anything. But this is obviously one of those things that could supposedly save you money in the long run, and that's what we're hopefully going to dig into. But he I gave him this kind of. I should send him a DM with a pretty lengthy description of kind of what we're, who we are and what we're doing and everything. And he responded with, "Are you inviting me to join the show or to watch the show?" And I'm like, yes, this is exactly who you are. And so we chatted on the phone for about 45 minutes. Actually, I was on my way to Red's the other day. Shout out to Red, Red and Becca. got some Flow, some Citrique, and some lemon do-si-dos that we're almost out of. And then where did this come
Check
from?
this
Red, close your
out.
eyes. Red, close your eyes. I think this might have got slipped in again. Oh, we've been smoking some fat bowls with that. It's supercharging it. We appreciate that.
Dropped it in there.
But yeah, I talked to him on the phone for a bit, and you know, he's definitely got like an attitude or whatever you want to call it. He's his own dude, you know what I mean? But he's got a pretty interesting backstory, which I'm hoping he shares. And you know, then just to dive into all of that, because I know it's possible on mini splits. He's got a YouTube video out there about that, but his focus is certainly on
that'd be nice.
Right. Because I told him, I'm like, listen, we're like mostly caregivers, but I think just getting the information out there in video form would, long form video form would help a lot of people.
Yeah, get a step-by-step guide. So I can,
yeah, I need to like write down like a huge list of questions that's just literally details it step by step.
Yeah, so first, what do you do first? Obviously, you turn the breaker off. But what do you do after that?
You guys keep saying step by step, and it just makes me think of Three's Company and Suzanne Summers passed away today. So rest in peace, Suzanne Summers, great actress. Shout out to Suzanne.
Yeah, for sure.
So
man, Suzanne Summers, the Thigh Master.
I saw this the other day since we're talking HVAC. It was on the Andon guys. Check out how they put their HVAC in the hallway, you don't have to go inside the room to fuck with all that shit. Your HVAC guy.
That's cool.
So like when I'm talking about going inside to empty a tube, our things are horizontal, so they're laying in the room up on the ceiling. I'm popping one of these half panels off. I'm going inside and grabbing some little drain tube, which I don't know how theirs are here. I don't see any drain. But and then just cleaning out because it just gets filled with like turds of gunk and stuff.
How often do you do that in a commercial grow?
We do it'd be every like 67 days because every reset.
Yeah, we get up there
just to avoid any condensation. But otherwise, things start condensating, and then we do have pans underneath them, but they'll fill up, and then they just start dripping, and you're like, oh. You gotta get up there with like a shop vac and then do it anyways.
Yeah.
But
do it before it comes a problem.
It'd be really sick to have this set up where they're just in the hallway and you just grab the ladder, maybe even have a rolling ladder.
I mean, I feel like I've seen a lot of them outside, but this. Can you would be able to?
What do you mean outside?
Can you
outside
put
the
this,
room?
No, like outside the building. Can you put this?
Well, we have condensers outside the building, but this is the inside unit. This is what you have like inside your house part.
Yeah, like a whole furnace.
If you have central air and heat, you have this part inside.
Those are just the DHUs, aren't they?
No. He's just showing off the HVAC work. I'm pretty sure these are HVACs.
It's forced air. Okay.
Yeah, so they have but they have what we have at Mitten, Yeah,
but
cut halfway into the wall, so that you can access these panels.
That's cool.
Yeah, so like our HVAC guy wouldn't have to. You don't have to like shimmy a ladder in between the tables and stuff.
Yeah, and there wouldn't be.
But when we have something inevitably happen because these things are running 24/7.
I had an A coil go out one time on mine, and mine's all the way in the back of my room, dude. I had to move plants. Room to the other.
See,
nightmare, dude.
I just thought, wow, there's some HVAC guy that was thinking and said, hey, how about we do it this way?
Or it's like for Gully was saying, they'll go from the ceiling and put them in the ceiling outside and just have the ducting go into the rooms.
Oh, I see. You mean up in that like attic kind of space.
Yeah, some people do that one too. But then see, the only reason I like it in the room is that I don't have the cut through. Well, I mean, I guess if you can.
That's the thing. If you do a good seal, it doesn't matter. That thing's insulated as hell. So
yeah, I guess you got some.
But yeah, I mean, who knows? I'm sure they'll find some problem with it. You always find stuff going wrong.
I want to tell you right now. I was gonna say, first of all, I wish the HVAC guy might have did a good job, but I feel like the architect or whomever could have, maybe the general contractor could have done a better job of placement with those posts right down the center of the hallway. That's gonna drive me insane. I mean, why don't we just put the wall right there?
The thing is, sometimes
we have all our grow rooms symmetrical. They've all got to be the same exact.
They might not have had $250,000 for a fucking metal I-beam.
That's what I'm saying. So a lot of these retrofits, you deal with what you got with those buildings.
It's just my OCD was going crazy there.
Oh yeah. The only thing is, I bet they have enough space on each side, even though it didn't look like it. I bet there's 6 feet on each side or some OSHA standard.
I don't know.
Which
Look,
if you have that much, yeah, you're
Those
good.
aren't 12-foot wide hallways, that's for sure. But in any case, the is
I
that
don't
not
know.
that portion of the unit? I know the condensers are outside, but is it possible to put that portion of the unit outside, or is that because it's?
Well, that has a. I don't think so.
That has the blower in it, so that's
Yeah.
conducted. So I mean, that doesn't get hot. So I don't, and not really a need for it to be outside unless you're just conserving space.
Yeah, the only thing with this that ever happens is it might condensate a shit ton on the inside.
Yeah,
Why would it? Why could you not put it outside though? I guess I'm asking because I feel like I've seen it grow. Not
Because in
far.
Michigan, all the water that condenses would freeze in the winter.
Yeah.
So you have to.
So
it'd have to be
this
like
has a
heated unit
giant.
almost.
These have even standard without reheat. They have that giant heater in them. So if you put it, let's say somewhere outside, it got even colder, it condense more. You just have a
Okay.
watery mess on the inside.
yeah, those things are gonna end up probably condensating on those piping. But I mean, I would even consider like security reasons. I mean, from
That's the thing
outside,
too. You don't. Yeah.
you only have to supply your copper line, which is maybe a 2-inch hole.
Well, I don't know how they have it.
Big old
Well,
going from that blower into the building with the duct. Somebody could probably knock that fucker out of the way. Then you got a big ass 12 by 15 hole that somebody could probably
Well,
through.
that's the thing is those units you're looking at for Growly. I'll bring it back up since it's just
Let me.
right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna share.
They have 2 ends. One's blowing out in the room, but
Right.
one end has to be sucking the air's room through that box you see.
And then
Well,
that's,
either it's sucking up here, blowing up here, or it's sucking down here, blowing back. But it's recirculating the same air in your room at least.
Okay.
So that's why it has to be
That's probably-
somewhere half in your
you go
room.
down and take a look at your furnace, it's probably the same thing. So there's a
Yeah.
filter on the bottom and then a blower at the top. And then those probably have furnaces in them, but they're probably just not up the gas lines.
If you can,
Yeah.
I'm gonna share my screen.
And in your house, you just don't care that your air is mixing with every room.
This is just what I was thinking of on my screen now. This is the
I
commercial
gotcha.
grow. And I remember seeing this outside, and I didn't really look at it too closely, but
Those are real air conditioners and are probably like 20 ton or 25 ton. And what that other guy's got set up are furnaces with maybe a 5 to 10 ton.
See, my issue with that is when in the winter, even if that thing's heating, that metal is not insulated well.
or maybe they did insulate it for this. I don't know. I don't know.
Freedom
the
Green
Yeah.
are-
I've seen places like that for Growly though, and I often wondered how those work.
You could probably have that on the north side of the building and it wouldn't get affected by heat as much. But I mean, air temperature is going to heat it up, but the sun won't hit it and heat it up at least. I can see the wintertime being a challenge. Freezing air.
But shit, for mini splits, everything's pretty much going on outside as far as temperature exchange. It's just for the Freon.
Yeah, those bad boys.
I don't know.
Air conditioners.
Hi,
I
Tara.
wish I would have gone to HVAC school. Yeah, what's up, Tara?
Hi, guys. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Tara.
Speaking of which, I gotta roll some of
Cheers.
this up. Citric.
And cheers, Daddy Red. I see him in chat.
Cheers, Daddy Red.
How's you guys outdoor looking? You guys do any? I took mine was I have Mac one. It was looking so good. I took a branch off of it and I said I'm gonna hang this just to make sure I get something.
I just did a Mac 1 dab, and it was so good.
Nice,
All the
nice.
Primal Punch is down and in the freezer, and the Gorilla Glue is still going. So
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Our outdoors hanging in a 50. Dude, it's been great. We got a Dehu sitting in the room, and it's been just rainy and humid enough to kind of keep it cruising. And it's like been sitting at 55%. I was worried it was going to go to like 40% humidity and dry out really fast, but it has. I mean, it's been out there for 10, 11. I mean, it's ready to get trimmed up. We can just trim it, but
We've been getting rain
yeah, exactly.
pretty steadily.
Yeah,
plenty of it.
It's keeping the humidity, so like it battles against the dehumidifier and keeps it maintained because we don't have a humidifier in our drying room. We just have a dehu.
We've still
Yeah.
We've still got a couple plants
Oh,
outside,
you're almost empty.
and they look so good. They're rocking.
Yeah, I love that.
Fading hard.
Yeah.
My Macs turn really purple. You seeing a lot of purple in your plants?
Yeah, it's the our hippie crasher, our big one outside, is just starting to like throughout all of it get some purple. We've got a GMO outside that like finally got its like stinkiness.
It's almost done too. It
Yeah.
seems to be ripening up pretty quickly. With everything else, I'm surprised. It must have started a little earlier. I didn't really notice it. But we pulled one lemon dozy dough last week with everything else, but we left one out there. The one that we pulled, look, it was fading a little faster. It had a little septoria and more yellow leaves and a little. I wanted to get it in the area that it was in. It was getting a different microclimate, but the other one's a little more in the sunshine, and the fucker's still green.
Nice.
Still fucking green, dude.
Yeah.
Just left it out there.
Yeah, it's still out there. The last couple of days of rain. I really wanted to get it. This specific garden, we let our chickens in, and I really didn't want to harvest until a rain washed them off because one of our chickens is molting and losing feathers everywhere. So we want to make sure we got a nice natural wash off, and then we're not going to let them out there. They didn't go out there today. We won't let them out there tomorrow, and I'm going to harvest it tomorrow and get it down. Now it's nice and clean.
Nice. Are you getting yours down yet? Oh, you had some out there.
I took down maybe half of my volunteers so far. They were the ones that I did absolutely nothing to. I didn't. Literally, it's seeds from last year that grew out of a plant that seeded out from last year. The pot is still there. It's in my corn plot, so it wasn't even with the rest of my cannabis plants. And about 7 or 8 of them grew up. About a dozen of them grew up all right next to each other. About 7 or 8 of them were females, and they're all approximately 7.5 feet tall or so. I never watered them once. I never fed them any nutrients once. I never topped or super cropped or did any sort of training to them at all. I never pulled off any leaves, never thin lollipop. I literally did nothing to these plants, and I'm getting probably an average of 1,200 grams of fresh frozen per plant.
Nice.
That right there is exactly why we grow the way that we grow.
Yeah.
I just had
Mother Nature doing the work.
I just never fed the plants, and they just rocked all year. And I was like, "What the fuck? The ground's
And
doing
grew
everything."
huge.
Grew huge.
Yep.
Insane.
Water only.
Yeah, and I'll still get more off of my lime skunk garlic punch trained plants that I started indoors and put in 100-gallon pots and all that, but for literally doing absolutely nothing except trying not to look at them too much, I was very pleased with the results. But not all of them are down yet. Like I said, I got about, I think, half of them down. I've been kind of thinking about last couple of days, especially with all this rain, but because they're not big bushy plants or anything, they certainly have a big top cola to them, but I don't think it's anything they can't handle, to be honest, because they come from nature. I mean, these plants, it's not like they started indoors or bred indoors or anything like that. So they seem to be very hardy, and I'm going to kind of let them do their thing until I have the time. And that'll probably be in the next couple of days, to be honest. But I mean, we're still getting a little bit of sunshine and stuff. They're getting watered in, probably flushed out. And like you said, it's getting cooler. So they're, getting a little bit faded quicker.
It's supposed to be pretty nice out next week. So
yeah, I'm trying to get my Mac. I'm gonna try to take my Mac to the end of October.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
That's about what I'm trying to take the hippie crasher. So we got to like empty out our whole drying room to put that.
Big.
We're gonna
Good problem to have.
We're gonna certainly need a.
We're
lot
probably
of-
gonna fresh wash some of it. Just wash some of it alive, living.
So what do you guys do with these outdoor plants that you have to dry? Does that pose a problem? Do you bring them into your indoor dry rooms to dry them? What's your strategies there?
Well, fortunately, our indoor dry room is at a different location, so we just bring them into the house, and not really worry about it. Same place that we bring all of our other stuff. We actually are constantly bringing in flowers and herbs all this time of year. We're actually drinking tea right now. That's a whole bunch of stuff just scattered around the house, and
Our
we got
table's
mint
full
hanging.
of all the herbs I'm drying, so we don't have anywhere to sit for dinner.
We've got a couple plants in the back that we were trying to do a pheno hunt on forever ago, but we never got to them. So we get some clones off them. We get some clones off of them, but I'm not expecting them to get pests. We've done really the worst pests we have here really are aphids.
Yeah.
They're
They're manageable.
we have a good biodiversity back here. This is the first year I haven't seen aphids on our cannabis, so that means our anchor system and our biodiversity is good. Did you guys wish Fragoli a happy birthday on that candle he was lighting there for you guys?
Oh my gosh. Happy
I
birthday.
saw that, man.
Cheers.
I was scared for the beard.
Darn it.
Muted.
Muted.
Yeah.
Don't light beards.
Sorry, got a little excited. That was Citrique dipped in the terpenes that were left over in my needle injector gun for my. I dipped it in that, and then dipped it in this cookies and cream, or strawberries and cream rather, bubble hash. And yeah, I knew that's what it was going to happen because terpenes are a solvent, and you can light them on fire.
Yeah, a little firecracker, like literally what they call the.
I used to call them corn dog dabs. You know what I mean? Like you got something in the center, you batter them up or whatever. But for the joint, I don't know if you call it the same thing or not.
Oh, fucking
Shout out to Winewood Organics and Eric and the whole team out there. We went out there this weekend, me and Emily. Shout out to Anything Grows. And he had Durban poison. So I got a couple grams of Durban poison while I was out there.
Nice.
Got some more of their CBG. Their CBG tincture. And I'm really liking the CBG stuff. It's like almost like gives you energy. So for the long drives and stuff, that's really good for that.
It's great for antibacterial properties too.
Also, they had a candy bar I got. It was a dark chocolate. It was 200 milligrams. I was like, 200 milligrams? Hell yeah.
It's that med limit, baby.
Yeah.
I hope they increase it for rock one day.
Harvested week 4, week 5.
I remember one time we bought these bougie bars. They were 1,000 milligrams.
1,000? Oh my god.
1,000 milligrams. They're like $75.
Did you eat the whole thing?
Fuck no.
Speaking of which, what should I try to dose my peppermint bark at this year? Because that's always something I try to do, like 200 plus on.
200 would be good.
How much is a serving? Like,
well, that's the thing. I could do 200 milligrams in like
a serving. Yeah, that'd be great.
30 grams of chocolate.
That'd be tasty.
Which is about, I don't know, about a fifth of a chocolate bar, a quarter maybe.
Pretzel bark or the peppermint bark. Oh my god, I can taste that now.
I would say at least 100 a serving. So,
I mean, I do minimum of 200. That's why I'm trying to see if we should go like jumbo this year.
Sure.
That's the thing. It's just all going to come in a bag that's dosed out, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So maybe I do 500 milligrams per chocolate bar kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I like it.
And choose your own.
Yeah. I mean, it just allows you to dip into the bag, and that's the thing. It's peppermint bark, so it's broken up. Everything I do with the peppermint bark is based on net weight of the chocolate or of the bark, right? So, peppermint candy is included. So whatever the net weight is of that, say it's 100 grams and it's got 200 milligrams of THC in that 100 gram serving. We could bump it up to however many grams we need to, just to do the simple math, to get maybe 500 milligrams or something. So, or I could just dose the chocolate higher and you have to eat less, which I kind of like too.
Yeah.
Too. I like to eat less sometimes, especially at night.
Yeah, well, especially chocolate. You know what I mean? Like
chocolate too.
Yeah, it's white chocolate. I don't know if that's any better than dark chocolate for like
I think that's
caffeine
better,
or whatever, but
somewhat. In our minds, it might be better.
I mean, in my mind, dark brewed coffee was more concentrated. It had a higher caffeine content than medium or light, but it's the other way around. Light brewed is or light roasted or whatever actually has the highest caffeine content. The more you know.
Well, I learned something today. That's good.
Reading Rainbow.
That's another fun thing about coffee and espresso. It's all the same beans. People might have their preference for a darker bean or something like that for espresso, but it's literally just coffee bean is a coffee bean. They call them espresso beans, but it's just a certain type of coffee bean that they're using. It's the difference. Sorry, say again.
It's the grind.
Yeah,
it's typically a lot finer ground, but it's also under pressure. Whereas coffee is typically like a drip, or a pour over type deal. Whereas espresso shot is done under pressure,
and because the grind is so much finer, it needs to be under pressure, but also because it's so much finer, you extract more.
So you need I don't know if you need less on that, but that's why you put about 8 ounces of steamed milk in there, about 5 pumps of butterscotch, flavored syrup, and like 3 tablespoons of caramel drizzle.
I get, on edge sometimes from drinking decaf, and we looked it up actually on the way home. That's what I'm talking about. Decaf is like on average 3 milligrams, 2 milligrams. I mean, we do pour over, so maybe it's we probably depend on the grind also. And we're talking about like the coarseness of the grind.
Right.
And in like a regular cup is like 90 milligrams.
Yep, about 80 to 90.
Like probably double that, maybe 150, close to double that, something like that.
What is?
I'm thinking an espresso is probably like
espresso is about the same actually as a cup of coffee. It's the problem is you can fit a lot more shots of espresso in the same amount.
I guess I'm thinking in like an 8 ounce serving or something.
Well, an 8 ounce serving of espresso on its own would probably be like 300 milligrams or something like that. Yeah. It's like definitely a heart attack.
Jeez.
Legal. Not even not on the DEA list, nor scheduled by the FDA either.
Dude, caffeine is my number one go-to when we're talking about drugs and cannabis, quote unquote, being a drug. Because if we want to look at the fatalities per year, last I checked, which the stat is pretty old, but I'm sure hasn't changed much. Maybe it's gotten worse. About 10,000 deaths per year due to caffeine directly, and of course we're sitting at 0 for cannabis. So it's kind of like, yeah, I think that cannabis should be regulated somewhere in between tomatoes and caffeine, I guess.
Yeah,
make it make sense, or at least put caffeine under some sort of regulation. But no, I'd say. I mean, I don't want it, but I'm saying make it make
Starbucks stock, man. I'll get some puts on that if that regulations get announced. Holy crap!
Well, the thing is that more people, right, that have a negative perception, they don't have the. I don't know, negative perception on cannabis or drug use or whatever it is, but are totally fine drinking lots of coffee. And we've talked about this before. The combinations of different MAOI inhibitors this season, cinnamon and nutmeg and all these other things, and you can get yourself a quite little cocktail going on with legal. Actually, not just legal, but stuff that's actually commonly consumed. Drive-through windows. You can get one at just about every fast food joint, pretty much. Certainly Starbucks and McDonald's and all those. But anyways, regardless, I actually haven't had caffeine or decaf. I've been drinking decaf most of the year, but I haven't. I got off coffee completely about 2 weeks ago. I've only been drinking tea. I've been harvesting fresh ginger and drinking that. Speaking of ginger, shout out to Rosemary's Oasis. I'll put that in the chat, the channel. But Becca edited up an awesome video that we recorded for our ginger harvest on just follow along and harvest some ginger. So on the Rosemary's Oasis YouTube, we went and did a little video there.
The one with the jars here?
No.
The jars might be the hot sauce short. There's a hot
No, it's on the YouTube, not the Instagram.
On the YouTube. Whoops.
The link's right there in the bio. Go back. The link's right there in the bio.
We'll send people to the video. Show the.
Listen. First of all, I took a shit ton of RSO, like 30 minutes before the show.
That's what's up.
Yes.
And,
that's my boy.
Yeah,
my boy Blue.
The sauce for the.
So I'm working with that right now, kicking in. All right.
Love it.
That is.
Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I probably subscribe.
Go to uploads. Scroll down a little bit. It's the first one under uploads, I think. Yep, harvesting ginger.
Wait, where's uploads?
Scroll down.
Oh, I see it.
Right there.
Yeah. Oh, we don't need to.
6 minutes. 6 minutes. Look, we'll just skip through.
We'll send people to the channel.
Red smile.
Which was cool to see that, Red, because now I think I'm just gonna throw some in my house. I'm just gonna throw some in my.
And then the hot sauce video, you can play that. That's a short.
I think the ginger was really good in a grove.
Ooh, those look really colorful.
I was surprised you could do it in a pot like that.
Are those yellow ones real spicy?
Made some sriracha, dude.
Probably the least spicy, I'd imagine.
Becca made some stir fry tonight, man. Perfect for some sriracha, dude. Homemade sriracha on that bad boy. Oh.
That was a fun process. I'm still learning.
Hey, can you pause real quick?
Is that called a spring method?
There? Well, it's for fermenting, right? It's called something polar. What is it called? Ferment polar or something like that. Yeah, it's a spring. You can get them from Ball. I want to just point out that I've seen people use that to break up their diamonds while they're creating sauce. They'll put that in their jar and
Okay.
use that to, kind of spin them as they go to keep
Yeah.
them loose and everything. That triggered a thought and I had to share it. And I've tried it and I wasn't attentive enough with it. So it didn't really work all that purposefully for me.
Oh,
But
it's for spinning.
Hold on to them springs because you can ferment with them. The lids
Yeah.
behind the gray lid there came with the spring, and that's a
Mhm.
fermentation lid. It's got a little hole in it.
It's
Yeah,
so
I bought a couple sets.
It was super fun. I'm like last year I just did a little bit, and this year I kind of scaled it up, and
Oh, I see.
I left the peppers whole instead of pureeing them first, and then I pureed after the fermentation process. Which is
Full spectrum.
What's the
Yeah.
difference?
It's good to pay attention to what color peppers you're putting into and try to keep like with like, because if you mix a bunch of different colors
get
together,
brown.
you're gonna get a brown, and it's fucking gross looking.
So last year what I did is I pureed it first, and then I let the peppers ferment in their own juices, and I don't think it fermented as much. This year I used salt in a water brine and let it sit in that with onion and garlic and a carrot. And then you save the brine to make the sauce smoother. And then you puree all the stuff and you add in the brine.
And just as needed.
Yeah.
Do you use all the brine or do you kind of not necessarily need to?
No, I use only like a cup.
Okay.
A cup and a half, maybe.
Nice.
And they're a little thin also. Like in the sriracha, I also took out all the seeds and like what I couldn't break down super fine. So
could you strain it after you puree it, or do you not want to puree the seeds?
This year, because the seeds won't puree.
Yeah.
Actually, I just used a blender, so it wasn't even a good quality one. I really need like a
juicer.
What are those called?
Ninja.
Yeah, one of those like really good puree options, because you can leave the seeds in there. That's fine. I just took them out for consistency, so it wasn't super chunky.
Now the sriracha is a little more like a hot sauce, and then the hot sauce is a little more like a sriracha. If you think of like sriracha being a little chunky or having a little pulpy, I think it's just the different ways that she, because she ended up straining the hot sauce, and it took too much out, it was too thin, or took too much out of it. So and you could also add vinegar to it and give it a different shelf life.
I added a little bit of apple cider vinegar to both. I did like an orange and yellow pepper with lemon drop peppers and like Scotch bonnets and habaneros.
It's fucking hot, dude. Fucking hot.
And in that one,
Like
I just put a little bit of vinegar, apple cider vinegar in there. And then in the sriracha, I added honey as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Just to kind of sweeten it up a little.
Yeah, and the sriracha was good, man. Added it right to the stir fry, and it did the trick, dude.
And it'll stay good for a whole year in the fridge or more.
Yeah.
Or longer.
So if you wanted a shelf stable one, you would want to do vinegar, but it wouldn't be fermented. It would be a different type of fermentation, which this is going to have natural bacteria, probably probiotics growing in it.
Totally.
Where the stuff with vinegar is going to preserve, but it's not going to have the good bacteria in it. So you kind of like, pick your thing. You'd also cook it, which could potentially take away some of the phytonutrition that might be in there.
Are you guys going to medicate any of these with like RSO or anything?
No.
We don't have plans to. Sounds like
this
a
is
good idea,
just
though.
a personal. We actually got a crap ton more peppers just a couple days ago. So
if you guys medicate one to 200 milligrams plus, can I buy it off you?
Fuck yeah.
Sure.
Okay, excellent.
Fuck yeah.
I would recommend doing some pickled peppers too. Emily made me some of those. I fucking love them. They're great to just throw into like
pickled peppers are great.
eggs. Yeah, eggs in your morning burrito or.
I made a bunch
salad.
last year. I made a bunch, and we didn't eat any of them.
We actually still have some.
Really? Did you do them whole or did you do sliced? I love the sliced ones.
Yeah, I
I
sliced them up.
didn't do good with getting banana peppers. You know what I mean? So I got like one good jar of banana peppers that is brought up and in the fridge. We were going to use it not too long ago, and I ended up not using it. But the other ones were like jalapeno and stuff like that, and it's, I could put some of those on some sandwiches and things like that. I just never did.
I just love it in salads and stuff. I think
salads, dude. Yeah.
And those peppers have more vitamin C than an orange, man. So it's like good for you.
You got in like a Greek salad. Greek salad would be good.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I wish we could grow here in Michigan is, and maybe we can, certain types, I think, but not like the South. Peaches. Oh, the peaches right now are just so unreal. I can't keep it from dripping out of my beard 5 minutes later. They're so juicy.
I don't like anything that tastes like peaches. No.
Well, fine, Tara. Jeez.
I'm not a peach fan.
Well, I was excited to have.
I enjoy a peach. They're good.
Like them, but...
Thanks, Dan.
No peach rings for Tara.
No. No. Gosh, no peach rings.
Well, those don't even taste like real peaches.
I had my first corn harvest and my first potato harvest this year.
I saw that just before the show. Congratulations. It looks beautiful.
Man. It was that the corn that you guys were talking about last couple shows. It was that same corn.
The little
glass gem.
The glass gem, yeah.
Gem. Or the ruby red something.
Yep. Purple.
That right there. Yeah.
You had
it's
some
like different shades of lavender. There's some blue and there's some dark ones. Yeah. And then I also got a bunch of potatoes, and it was funny because all I remember planting was purple potatoes, but I got purple potatoes, I got red potatoes, I got white potatoes. So and I left a bunch, like all the ones, I think something like moles or something or voles were in there because I found a bunch that were munched on. So I left them and I just threw them back in. So I think I'm going to have a huge potato patch next year because all those partial ones are going to sprout.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be sweet.
It's crazy. We had one bed and they just completely came in, and we did not plant them this year. So
yeah, we missed a bunch of potatoes last year. Probably little tiny ones, and we ended up getting a whole bunch of.
I think homegrown potatoes are so much better.
I'm gonna make smashed potatoes here tomorrow for dinner. I think.
Nice,
love that.
Dude. Oh my god. Okay, no, you said. What are they? The purple sweet potatoes?
I have purple. I have red. I have some white ones. Some like yellow white.
You're gonna hate me for suggesting this because you're gonna laugh, but I'm gonna tell it for the viewers. Purple mashed potatoes with a white fish on top, some rice on the side, and some a pecan encrusted on top of that white fish. No. It's gonna send you to the moon.
Send you to the bathroom puking.
Yeah. Well, if you can't handle your fish or your potatoes or your rice or your nuts, but
the fish, I don't need fish.
Well, enjoy your mashed potatoes then, Spartan.
I will.
I would honestly recommend throwing a couple like pecans in there, just some crushed up pecans, man. Just try it on the side, maybe like literally a tablespoon of them on the side, mix it together. I don't know what it is, but that flavor together.
Pecan and what?
And purple sweet potato.
Okay.
I have purple sweet
potatoes. Yeah,
different than the little purple Adirondacks.
Let me try to look up the species or whatever.
These ones aren't. I don't think these are sweet potatoes. I'm pretty sure they're not.
Oh, okay.
They're more like a red potato, kind of like a real thin skinned potato.
Yeah, that's kind of the ones. Are they purple on the inside or are they white?
Yeah, purple on they're dark purple.
Yeah, dude, those are good for you, man.
Sweet potatoes kind of grow like ginger.
Anthocyanins.
Yeah.
That's
another one I want to master. I want to get some sweet potatoes going.
You just got to put a sweet potato in some water, just at the bottom of it, and then little slips will start growing up. And then you take it off the tuber, just like a ginger plant, if you watch our video. And then you plant that, and it grows new tubers, and that's the sweet potatoes.
And then they take off and grow shit tons. Yeah, you just plant them everywhere. You have a bunch of sweet potatoes from like one sweet potato. One sweet potato will give you hundreds of sweet potatoes, like super early in the season.
Here's some purple ones.
Yep, those little guys. Sweet, dude. Dude, I think they're delicious. I think that they taste better than any of the. I used to love red potatoes. Really, potatoes, dude. Becco makes these little smash them, and then do like butter and garlic and shit.
Yeah, I want to do that. I saw recipes for the smashed potatoes. It looks so good.
Biggs, can you share my screen real quick? I just want to show you two pictures. That's what I was talking
about. Yeah.
Wow.
Super cool looking.
Yeah.
those are more yummy.
Yeah,
and
for
sweet
sure, for
potatoes.
sure. Something about the flavor. I mean, I don't know. It's just I discovered them. Gosh,
I
maybe
love
2
sweet
years ago.
potatoes and pecans anyway, man. That's super
Yeah.
good. And maybe a little bit of brown sugar.
I was gonna say brown sugar, honey. I mean, like, take me down that road.
Oh yeah, I'm
Thanksgiving's
with
right around
you.
the corner.
We found another thing we agree on. I am
We should
with
throw a
you on that.
Friendsgiving feast.
Sweet potatoes were not.
I want to smoke a turkey.
I love them now.
Oh.
And you know, we will eventually get back onto cannabis, everybody, but we grow permaculture, and so this is kind of like what we use to grow our cannabis. You know, we would put potatoes underneath our cannabis, right? So where do you want to use your sweet potatoes for a cover crop? You know, I would do or experiment with at least. And you know, it's something like becoming a connoisseur of cannabis made me become a connoisseur of what I put in my body as food. It just did. Like I was like, it makes no sense for me to be so stringent on the way that I grow my cannabis when the number one thing that I always put in my body, I don't even pay attention to how they grow it. You know what I mean? And if I didn't pay any attention to how anybody grew my cannabis, who fucking knows? Whether Eagle 20, and they're using that shit on our food, you know, or at least maybe some marketers are, or whatever, or worse. You know, there's way worse shit. So, and I know you're not smoking your food, but you're still ingesting it. You know, it's still a form of, you know, you are what you eat. You know, so I think
Lungs, liver, kidney. There's a lot of things that, you know, intake what you intake.
exactly. Yep. Stomach. So your intestines they absorb just like your lungs. So your lungs they're doing the same function. It's just a different particle matter. You know, one's a gas and the other's a solid or a liquid.
Slower process typically too, you know, versus getting directly in the bloodstream with your lungs within a few seconds.
Right.
You know, might take minutes to hours.
Yep. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, man, growing stuff. You know, it's good for the body, soul, and the community.
For me, I call it like the lazy gardening way, and I love things like the potatoes, where you can just leave. Well, you're inevitably you're gonna not find some, and so they kind of plant themselves, and it's like you plant it once and it comes back year after year. It's like yes,
Yeah.
Well,
Dude, raspberries are another one, and
I want to
if
do
you guys-
blueberries. I want to do blueberries too because I love blueberries. So I want to get some blueberry bushes established, and I want to do raspberries, and want to get more strawberries going.
If anybody is interested in raspberries for this coming spring on this panel, I don't have enough for everyone that's watching, but on this panel, yeah, because I've got my father's raspberries that he's been growing, the same cut of his raspberries, literally, that he's been growing for close to 2 decades. I think he makes over 100 pounds, I think, of jam every year from his harvest. He recently moved though from the house that he's been living in, you know, that I grew up in for 40 years or whatever. And so I'm not sure if he's got a spot yet for them over there, but I've grown them at the last, I think at least three houses I've lived at. And they are just taking over the area I have them now. So I'm more than happy to start sharing those, you know what I mean? Because it's what I have no idea, you know, anything about them other than they're red raspberries. They're delicious and they grow like crazy.
Perfect.
They're my favorite.
That's what I'm about. My favorite are the yellow or the honey, I guess they call them raspberries, the golden ones.
Yeah.
They start out like a light colored yellow color, and then when they're ripe, they turn like a honey color. They're so fucking good.
Wow.
Huh.
Missing out.
Yeah, they're really
The only thing that seems to like, I was just thinking of pest management for a second. The only thing that seems to like these raspberry plants is Japanese beetles. That's the only thing I ever see on them for, you know, at least a decade now.
Those things are some bastards too. They were pretty prevalent in my yard this year. Those Japanese beetles.
I remember you guys talking about them earlier this year. We had a little bout of them a lot later than you guys did. We never experienced it as early as you guys did, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know.
I was wishing for some fucking either some ducks or some chickens at that time.
Maybe actually, yeah. Maybe the chickens fending them off for a while. I don't know.
What you got there? Cider?
Is that settling?
Yep, some apple cider. It's a little pulpy.
Okay.
A little pulpy, but yeah. So we can put that on the stove and have some apple cider. I think
Or you can just seal it up and fucking get it in about 2 months, and it'll be an extra treat.
it's true. Yeah, we put the
Make sure you seal it up. I tried doing that once, and I exploded a gallon of apple cider all over my kitchen. I was renting in college.
Got
We
pickles.
got some.
Oh, I love the pickles.
From Big Jar last weekend at the traveling circus, and boy, that is some good salsa. He did a great job, and that's from his outdoor garden, and it's non-medicated. It was super yum.
Yeah, all you guys out there making food, man, keep it up. It's good.
Yeah.
Big Jar, man. I just saw on his feed he went out and saw Blue out in Maine.
No, I
He
texted
made it all the way
him.
out to Maine, so
What a
that's
hero.
cool.
Yeah, that was super cool there. That'd be nice. Think about all the knowledge bombs being dropped there.
I mean, outside of cannabis, you guys have a certain thing you guys like growing outside, and honestly, second to that, what would be something you would love to companion with your cannabis plants inside that you'd either be willing to risk the potential or you just need it that bad, you know?
Oh, we're just talking plants.
What else is
I've
there?
been thinking about somehow putting a fish tank in my veg because
That's called aquaponics, bro.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
just start growing aquaponics.
oh,
I got a
it's
buddy
salt
that does it.
water, but
Oh, it's all
Oh,
water. That would
because
be
it's
amazing.
warm, it's
How about
warm,
that?
and it's waterproof. Not waterproof, but like
Yeah, it's just like
still
growing
happens.
What
Oh
do-
well.
okay, so what do fish? Do they breathe out CO2?
Yeah,
Oh, put them in there.
you have to. Yeah, because you're oxygenating the water when it's coming up from the sump and
Yeah,
recycling.
put them in there, man.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it'd be pretty sweet.
We
Have
can
a
put it
little-
right on the shelf. We have plenty of room.
I don't say we have room. We have more than enough room.
I don't know.
let's
Okay, so here's my. I'm coming in with the cleaning
do it.
aspect. I mean, fish tanks can be kind of yucky if it's not kept up with algae, that kind of stuff, and.
Have you seen our rooms, Tara? You
No, I
You haven't
Oh,
seen
No.
my fish
I think
tank.
I'm offended. You would even suggest we would let it get.
So I had a really good ecosystem in my last one, so it just took care of all the algae and stuff with minimal
for
effort.
all, you know.
They're not too bad. They're not too bad if you clean them regularly.
But you just gotta stay on top of it. Is all. I just don't want to see in your beautiful room get ruined because of
People, you haven't seen my track record for amazing reef tanks. I gotta get my pictures for the late sesh tomorrow.
do it.
I'm gonna find all my old pictures, my 120 and then my 40-gallon breeder before that.
But does he still have it, ladies and gentlemen?
No, because that was the first decision
No.
when I just knew I was gonna
Big brother.
move at least out of state.
For girly, sometimes you have
I
to
sold
retire
my-
at the top of your game, bro.
That's what I'm
Sometimes
saying.
you have to retire at the
You
top of your
retire.
game.
You retire, but if you've learned anything from celebrities these days, you come back in it way later and cash in on that.
Yeah, collect inflation because money is different when you're 60 years old versus when you're
Yeah.
20, you know?
No, but it's a fun hobby. It's
Definitely.
super similar to growing. So like my RO unit would help. I didn't have that when I had a tank.
Good point.
Like you're out there every day, so you might as well. So
You
like
kind of already set
if
up.
You have
once-
void
so
drains.
imagine you guys who are organic. Imagine if you have to do something once a week. You know, like water
Yeah.
once
Oh,
a
damn.
week. So for a fish tank, at the most, you're doing once a week water exchanges.
And if the fucking
Or
fish-
you messed up your mix of ecology or whatever it's called.
yeah, and you get one of the fish and jump out, and you go in there. There's one on the floor. You can just grab that and throw it on top of one of the fucking pots.
Well,
Little mango
I
turn
learned.
fish tank.
I once stepped on my favorite
There's your
Valentini puffer fish because of that, and
Avocado
then
tank, excuse
ever
me.
since then I bought tops. I bought tops so they couldn't jump.
And then flashlights for your shoes so that you can see before you step.
No, I just bought tops, so I know they're not getting out.
I had to
It's
eat.
crazy though. Sometimes you'll go and you'll be like, "Where
That
the
is
fuck did that
crazy.
fish go?"
Yeah,
Feel
Like a
God.
Fish tanks are great though.
albino frog that jumped out of a tank once and got killed.
Well, you're talking about a frog. That's an amphibious animal.
Yeah,
That's-
well,
I tried to have fries one time.
It's not only amphibious, but it's one of the best jumpers in the world compared to its body size.
Yeah, man. And they,
True.
They're
Most
all
fish
legs.
are so if your fish is jumping, something went wrong. Either they're stressed or like oftentimes in Florida I would after a thunderstorm I might find like a wrasse or something like that. And because of the lightning. So like flashes and stuff like that.
Yeah, dogs do it too. What about other companion plants, you
what
guys?
dogs don't be jumping out
Oh
the
yeah,
window. What are you
companion
talking
plants.
about?
I've seen dogs chew through air conditioner electrical because they're so scared of fireworks.
Okay, yeah, I've seen dogs be scared of fireworks before.
And thunder, fireworks, lightning, it's all kind of the same.
My
thing,
dogs are
right?
scared of fireworks.
I think most are. But I mean, I wasn't expecting a companion fish tank. You guys got any
Well,
other companions
I've been
in your
thinking
garden?
about it this week. So you got
Maybe some
that. But
hamster wheels
I mean,
running
if
your
I did
lights.
plants,
Hey, hamsters also breathe out CO2. Man.
There you go, twofold there.
I've always wanted
Maybe just
to
running the
do
fans, I guess.
Too much risk-free coli.
ornamental peppers and veg just to keep things, maybe try to keep some bugs alive that you could maybe,
I currently have an aloe plant in my veg.
that'd be a
So,
good one.
I've heard of that one.
That one's in there right now.
A lot
and I
of
used it.
uses.
Becca,
Yeah.
what's that plant behind you that makes you look like you have crazy hair right now?
Like
Could that be a
yeah.
companion
Like a
plant?
palm bush.
Might get too tall.
That's that same plant he's had forever. That
dragon.
was like all dead.
Dragon
before.
palm.
Yeah, she's
You
nursing
have
it
to, you
back
have
to
to
health.
look up what it's gonna either attract or not attract.
That thing's gonna probably worth $250,000
One
now.
behind me.
Really
Yes.
slow growing plant.
That's a baby.
It's like
It's
slow
an heirloom.
growing.
It's an heirloom.
Yeah, that is an heirloom.
Heirloom
for sure.
house plant.
No pun intended.
It's like, get me the fuck off of this.
10.5 mil. He's been holding it since 1998.
Speaking of which, this is. I'm gonna bring it up. That's like Gage Green Group and their
Pull it up,
ridiculousness.
Pull it up.
That's Gage
What are
Green
we
Group
pulling up?
prices right there.
Dude,
Get a clone of that for
Can see it on my
25.7 million
it's just like
Sorry, guys.
comments.
because it's been specially blessed.
857 comments.
Yeah.
Because it's an heirloom variety that 1 million people have had. But yeah, let's.
I'm gonna need a cut of that, Red, please.
yeah.
It's easy to propagate, not a problem.
They just start GoFundMe's.
Jay Patrick knows what
Can
we're
we-
talking
Like, this
about.
thing's bulletproof, no problem.
We need a bro discount, please. We're gonna have to drop a bro discount. Silly.
Good.
Wait, do we pull it up?
No,
I've got it here. I've got it.
I'm slacking.
I've got it.
Yeah, you got distracted.
Well, I pulled it up on the
That's
browser
cool.
and then it didn't go to Instagram because Instagram desktop is trash.
Oh, not really.
I can't argue that.
Not really. What?
It's kind of the same thing.
No,
It's not at all. Oh, it's so glitchy. It's so glitchy, and you can't even do story posts.
You just
What
offended
is-
his soul for girl. You just hit him hard.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
it's trash compared.
Triggered.
I googled it. I've researched this. They specifically don't put enough effort into the desktop because they want you on your
You
phone.
specifically couldn't even log into a desktop version of Instagram when it first came out. Like there was
What?
it didn't even exist.
Yeah, because it was a phone thing. and
Can you
they
share
kept
my
that.
screen? God, you
Yep.
slacker. I'm just teasing. I love you, Big. Yeah, so I don't even
Gauge
have
screen.
too many thoughts on this because I thought it was a joke when I saw it.
Ridiculous.
but have
I mean,
had
these are the
at it.
guys that first did that organic cup where they tried to segregate the entire community and be
Yeah.
like, you need to be
All
the
right, let's
certified
read
organic
it.
to come into
Let's
here.
read it here because this is where it gets really good. For over a decade, through blood, sweat, and tears, and raids, our team has preserved and cherished the original cut of Cherry Pie Kush. Like,
I like
get the
this
fuck out of
narration.
here with it. Like that. That's like me running around saying I got the original cut of GT4. Yeah, and so do 10,000
Also
other people.
renowned as pre-cookies. What does that even mean? Like, why does that even matter?
That's a free cookie, man.
It's pre-cookies. Whoa.
I guess it's
Yeah.
not diluted.
Your unwavering commitment to excellence.
There's been some bullshit though, and like Like I posted that thing about that Humboldt seed organization, a legacy Humboldt seed bank based in Europe was their like post, and then there's Burner. Burner was on like Forbes interview or some crap, talking about all the people growing mids are getting weeded out.
Look at the comments. That's fucking hilarious.
No, well,
Like,
there's about 800 of them. We could be here for a couple shows.
that's why I just think we're just gonna see a lot of this crap as
The
it
comments-
gets more legal, because you got the more business snakes coming in.
Yeah,
that
I
just
just
say
hope that
anything.
I just hope that someday somebody please comes to their senses and stops holding Gage Green Group up as some giant jewel of the industry. I'm sorry. Do you
And you
see?
bet your
you
ass some
see the-
Chad Brad out there is trying to buy that cut.
And let them, whatever. They can be the clowns, but it's just, to me, it's just like
Sure.
you're not doing the community any good by overinflating prices to the extreme amounts.
See, if it were me, I would just
Sorry.
I'd start a GoFundMe.
It's not
Everybody
respect.
pitches in $100 or something, and everyone that pitches in $100, I'm momming that shit out, and we're spreading it like wildfire,
Yeah.
and then
What's
you
the
and then
most you
give it
guys have
out.
ever
You
paid
know,
for a cut?
Yeah, but the problem is that the clown still gets the money for the clown.
the
which is
most I've
ridiculous.
ever paid for a cut was, I think, 100.
Right there,
Yeah,
Dave.
100
Right
is the
there.
most.
$100 was the
100
most.
is
I
the most.
Right.
I
I
paid 50
There.
for elite cuts back in
0.
Zero is the most for Gurley's paid because he's
I've
a pimp.
never paid for one of my cuts that I have in my grow. I might have traded, but I've never paid.
Everything I currently run, I don't think I paid. I did pay for the Death Star. I got it from a dispensary in Ann
I
Arbor.
paid
What was
$100 for the GG4 from Medgrower 1.
Yeah, okay. I
I
have
lost
one-
that from him in 2015.
I had-
Yeah, I'd say that's about. I think it was maybe 2016 when I got it. Maybe
you
the
know
next
where
year.
you know where that cut came from?
DG4. Yeah,
his
it came from. It came from.
Josie Wales.
No, not well. Eventually, yeah, originally.
Probably
but
ultimately, right?
before that, it was
Growing
Mr.
with
Tight.
Mr. Tight. Yep.
So Spartan, I got my GG4 from Doc. Where did he get his from? Do you have any idea where
I'm not
Doc's
sure.
GG4? Okay,
I
was
don't know.
wondering.
I'm not sure. Maybe I gave him a cut. It's possible. I don't remember. I
A
don't
while
know.
ago, but
I know
yeah,
I've given that
that
cut out a
came
lot.
from-
I've given it out a lot. So
I don't think theirs is the same. It's the same because I've always people say Doc
You found them
Dankins
different?
done GG4.
well, there's only one
I don't-
GG4. It's
well,
not
that's
like
the thing,
Really these.
but-
Yeah,
Yeah,
Then there'd be just it'd just be Gorilla Glue then, I guess.
but you can't rule out the possibility that there's some false.
Well, the
cuts
Mr.
going
Tights
around.
has Mr. Tights has got the lineage back to when we talk. I actually interviewed, well, the whole show interviewed Josie Wales on the Cheap Home Grow podcast, and we asked him, who he was dealing with in Michigan. It was the same place.
I'd like to get an original glue. That'd be
So
cool. My hands on. I've got like 3 thoughts on the thing. One of them is, oh wow, shit, thanks. One of them is like maybe it's
3 thoughts on 6 hours later. No, I'm just
I'll be right
fucking with
back.
you. I'm
Hashtag
just fucking
guys.
with
We'll
you.
see ya.
I certainly don't want to like shit talk the thing to death. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm gonna do. So my one thing is maybe a reason that it's a little less immoral, I suppose, would be that he continuously gets bothered, or they, what an organization, whatever it is, it continuously gets bothered for a cut. Like every now and then I get a DM, can I get a cut of this or whatever, and maybe he's getting hundreds and thousands of those a day or something like that. And he's just trying to end it by saying, this is how much it is. If you want the cut, fucking pay it, So maybe that's one thing. Okay. Maybe a little less immoral, a little less sinister. The other thought that I have is like the gouging aspect of medicine.
No, man, he's got. Before we go, let me just answer that first point, and I'll let you get to the second. But the first point is, this is not the first time he's asked ridiculous amounts of money.
I understand that. I understand whatever.
But he is just like made a fucking history of you go on his website and he's got things for $10,000 for a pack of seeds.
Yep.
So yeah, so this is something that he's made a history of.
There is nothing cool about EpiPen or insulin being the prices that they are. Those are life-saving medicines. If Becca didn't have,
And if you read his own descriptions, he calls it life-saving medicine.
Health insurance helps us to get these medicines. First of all, we don't get health insurance for cannabis, anything, right?
No.
Let's look at what CBD does to people. Okay, you just watch people take drops of CBDs in a second, stop their tremors, Parkinson's. Look at Charlotte's Web. Charlotte, rest in peace, Charlotte. She needed CBD for her seizures every single day, right? She needed that shit. This is just as immoral as gouging with EpiPen or gouging with.
I think you make an amazing point.
Insulin, any of that. You're not a pharmaceutical company. You know, if you want to have that level of pharmaceutical company, that's one hell of a fucking immoral level of capitalism. You know what I mean? And I don't want to like get this into capitalism at all, but the other part of this whole thing is the only people that can actually afford that in the elite era is Marlboro or any of these huge entities that are going to come in, and then they're going to turn that great quality medicine into mids. They're going to overgrow the shit out of it. They're going to oversupply the market with it. They're going to crush our culture with it. All right, cool. If that's who you want to be or how you want to fucking deal your shit, then go for it. But that's my perspective on the thing, you know. And
I mean, I'm going to ignore it, right? And I'm going to ignore it, and we're going to do our own thing, just like you. And you're going to ignore it, and you're going to do your own thing.
100%.
We'll be fine, but it's still annoying to see. It's still people ask my opinion. There it is. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's no better than the pharmaceutical companies do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get like $7,000 a pound for that weed.
Yeah.
I think you're going to need to get a lot more than that.
They're going to
Jeez. Maybe $70,000 per pound.
Yeah, I don't see how that's justified anywhere in the metric department because it just won't cut it. But
no, okay. This is, you know what this is, guys? This is like an art deal / an NFT. This is a business write-off. That's what's happening here.
Well, he's targeting a business. That's what it is. It's not targeting any individual. He wants a business, like a commercial entity, to say, "Oh yeah, I can use this in my marketing." Say it's the original cut, Gage Green Group cut of.
I think it's more likely to be an art collector just trying to hide some money. An art collector, a billionaire.
It would be ridiculous because the value isn't stable.
Hey, but like I said in our chat, if that deal goes through, guess what? There's going to be a Cannabis Cup winning Clementine strain on the market that you can get for
what's ridiculous is it's not even
$100 million.
And what's ridiculous is not even a
granddaddy cup.
Is that rooted or unrooted?
Oh no, you're getting clippings in moist paper towel and a half closed Ziploc and maybe a somewhat sealed Mylar bag. Good luck.
Through paper towel or
like, you're not
one
something unique.
And it's a lower. Cut. It's not. It's a lower.
That's the only thing that blows my mind is that you're getting a cut. You're not getting something unique. There's something else still exists that can make an infinite amount more. So just the value is only going to go down. It's not going to go up. As soon as you buy it, it goes down.
That's for some Brad or Chad commercial operator to take it. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, but the same Brad or Chad commercial operator could go buy a cut of fucking whatever Kalamazoo Kush and call it fucking whatever the fuck they want to call it.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's taken.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, name changes in metric all the time. It's just
that's what I'm saying. So how can you charge for that much for it? It's like, what are you doing?
Well, the other thing is other people have the cut. It is out there. Like it's
no, that's the other.
People are like, damn, I just got rich.
It might not be
people hit them up and give them a tail. I'll give you a 10th of that. You got him for a 10th of that, man.
How about a 10th off, not a 10th? You undersell yourself. You go straight to the bottom, brother. Get 9 million instead of 10.
I'm not sure. You could knock 2 zeros off, bro.
Yeah,
got enough buyers. You can knock off as many zeros as you want, I guess. You know.
I mean, I would understand a couple $1,000s because somebody's going to get it and they're going to make millions off of it. I get it. Get yours. You know, I understand about getting your piece, your slice of the chain of command, you know, but there's a point where gouging becomes immoral, you know, that's pharmaceutical level immoral. It just is. It's a destruction of a culture and industry when you allow people like Marlboro to get that type of culture. You know, it destroys everything we've worked so hard for. You're right up there with the MCMA, allowing things like Doja, who sells Kiva. Kiva is an MCMA brand, you know, putting it out there.
Straight out of Chesaning.
I mean, we see through the fucking shit. You know what I mean? There's nothing culture about any of that shit, you know? And to allow them, you know, at your events and all this other shit, yeah, whatever, dude. You're Marlboro. It's cool. Be Marlboro. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not culture. So that's fine. It is what it is, I guess. But insulin saves her fucking life every day. And if we didn't have health insurance, I don't know what the fuck we would do. We don't have health insurance for our cannabis, so I don't know what people are going to do to get their meds when Marlboro is charging whatever for if it goes. Let's
Schedule 3 would solve
that Schedule
problem.
3, right? Let's say it goes Schedule 3, and then and now companies have all the right they have to gouge. So I guess that this is just somebody getting ahead of the curve, right?
How much you want to bet you would spend more for less quality at a Rite Aid, Walgreens type pharmacy getting your Schedule 3 cannabis than you would either buying it at a dispensary now, let alone a caregiver, let alone growing it yourself? I mean, there's just no way it's going to be better than even what we have now in the commercial market. Right. I can't imagine.
Right. Yeah, and it's just going to be watered down, you know, and it's probably where that part of the industry will be going. But I mean, I don't think there's anything spiritual about that, man. If you're preaching spirituality and all of that other stuff, dude, working at the level of big pharma, dude. If you're into manifestation shit, you don't need to sell your shit that expensive. You know what I mean? The shit comes, and it's not coming by fucking over a culture. You know what I mean? It happens through goodwill and laws of attraction.
If it was for laundering, I don't get why he would post that just to have a record of it or something.
Yeah, you got to have there's got to be a receipt, right?
Or it could just be on the website.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's obviously we're talking about it. It's social media attention, right? Hey, let's move on. Right? There's about 100 people watching right now. I want to make sure you all give it that thumbs up. I appreciate you all joining, and throw some comments, throw some chats in there, give us some questions, tag us. Here's the thing, guys. If you tag us, if you put that @ symbol there and then put at Dankman Dan or even I think if you just put @ Spartan, it'll tell them, it'll kind of highlight it, and it highlights it.
No, you gotta put
Spartan. Okay, we'll put @ Spartan Grown, spell it all out there, SPARTANGROWN, and let us know, give us some questions, because I know he's got answers. Maybe I don't, but he does.
I might not know too. Let me put that out there.
Oh, humble Spartan Grown. Let's change that handle.
Always. Hey, you guys
the
are
question is, what are you smoking for, Growly? That's the question.
7 minutes past ash time, guys.
I just finished that joint of what I mentioned earlier, is that Citrique with the dipped in my own 321 Clem terps, rolled in that strawberries and cream bubble hash, and straight to the dome. I'm not gonna lie, I put it down and came back to it, Spartan. You'd be ashamed of me, but I'll be honest, I smoked it twice, and it was just as good the second time.
Streak's a good one for that. Really stays, the flavor stays good.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's Eddie, man. It gets the mind going a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, sorry if I'm talking too much. You know, Citrique.
I got the
Citrique.
I would smoke that Durban from Winewood. I love that shit, man. It's so good. I love that Durban. When's that coming for Growly? I know you got it in there.
Dude, I just pinched it today. I was just pinching all up on it. I got my fresh pair of gloves out there. You know, it's so frosty. And it's just so floppy.
That's it, like how the old school flop.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of strength in those upper colas there. No, let's see. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, and I want to take it a full minimum 9 weeks, I think we're looking at probably that November 18th. What's the word? Traveling circus, is that what we're still calling?
I'll be there.
Fledge. I think it's at the Fledge. November 18th. Red and I were talking about that. We might be having to step down from our deer blinds to go vend that event. But our plan is to be there, and that would probably be the absolute earliest that this strain would be ready as flower. I could get it ready sooner as an extract, but I don't have any events earlier in November. It's just the Gems and Genetics, and I'll probably be doing my true 8 to 9 week strains, not my potential 11-week strain at that point. So,
fortunately, the events aren't until like 11 or 12 o'clock. That one might be 11 because it's Third Eye Craft Fair, but we still might be able to get a morning hunt in.
oh, I mean, I'll be
Get up early enough.
I mean, honestly, the idea is to be done by then.
I was going to say, I hope you guys
all
get your
luck.
beer opening day, and then
Yeah.
it's not going to be an issue.
Yeah,
Yes,
find
I'll
it by
be-
9 a.m. and just be done.
I'll be also at the Fledge.
Not at our camp.
Flavors. We're going to be bringing the blueberry muffin with us this time. You guys are going to be able to try that.
Oh, okay.
I'll be bringing the new lemon darts. You guys, this is the one I've been wanting you guys to try. So it's a new lemon. I'm excited for you guys to try that one.
Hey, can I put in a specific request?
Yes, sir.
And I need more of those fantastically rolled giant bats with glass tips that are infused with rosin, because I could not get enough of that, and
Absolutely.
I only had one, and I need more.
We can definitely make that happen. We'll have more of the cherry paloma flower, and we'll have definitely a lot of primal punch rosin and
Sweet.
a lot of Gorilla Glue rosin.
Yeah, mix a handful of them up. I'll have one of each.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, awesome. I can't believe you still got one. Cool.
Yeah, how are you still holding on to that thing?
For special occasions, we got to make it, because you got to put some time into it. So you got to commit some time.
Yes, you do.
Rush
You
job.
do. There's a lot of doobie there for one person.
It's true.
Traveled to Cincinnati this weekend to see my grandbaby.
Well, thank you. I did hear your kind comments on that joint, and I appreciate that for growing. Truth is, I passed out. You guys have that late sesh, even though it's at 10 o'clock. I smoked so much weed, I passed out. Can never make it on time, and I'm just a bad partner sometimes.
Yeah, and I got
it happens. Wait till it's 11.
Yeah.
Connor, for really not doing much with this. You did a great job on this. It is so fucking phenomenal.
Thank you. It's got
really,
some crazy terps.
I love
really enjoy it. Thank you. I'll let him know that you guys liked it.
Yeah,
there's a bunch more coming of it too. We got his whole outdoor to do. So
Smash Cake, Primal Punch. Have you grown or washed the Garlic Punch or any of his other strains? What we were talking about last night. I got it right here.
I've grown a lot of his strains, but not washed a lot of them.
I hate to be busting out seeds while Bake's here.
But I
such a small.
I've been on restriction.
Silverback gelato. That's what it is.
Oh, there you go.
Silverback what?
Silverback gelato. If it comes in here, I guess this is a good washer
seeds too.
Okay, I haven't popped these yet, but
me either. I find a lot of good shit in his seeds, man. I'm telling you, man.
I do love me some gelato.
Shout out to Matt Grower One, man.
Yeah, that cake is really good.
Michigan breeder from way back.
Hell yeah! Now he's got like a library of 80 different genetics or something. He's doing mostly clones nowadays. Not doing.
I want to get that permanent marker from
archiving.
Him.
Yeah,
he's got that permanent marker, so I'm going to be hitting him up for that.
That one is I didn't really like the terps on permanent marker, to be honest, but the structure, the bag appeal, everything else about it was pretty amazing, but I just didn't like the flavor.
Tell me what the nose on it you find, because I've never smelt it.
It wasn't a Sharpie, you know what I mean?
Okay. All right,
which according to the name is what I expected, I guess. It's not even chemi.
We got to try one. Troy picked one up yesterday, and I don't think it was chem at all. I totally was like, it was runts.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not familiar enough with runts, but maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
great marketing though with the Sharpie.
Yeah.
On the tube.
That's super.
Wish I would have thought of that. It was like, highlighter.
That's funny.
Highlighter.
Right.
But honestly, I looked at him because I've been really, really stoked to try it, and I was like, it's runts. I was expecting. I don't know. I like no. I love runts, but I was
wanted something different.
Yeah, I just was expecting different.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There's an interesting question in chat for us from Val. Pothead said, "Have you ever smoked something with too much of an aphrodisiac effect? There's been a strain in particular."
Can I just?
I never stopped smoking it.
say that again? Oh, you haven't, because you would never stop smoking it.
Yeah.
I was told, I don't know how detailed I want to get, but I had actual dispensaries tell me that they noticed in this college-age town that the women in particular liked Blue Dream for that reason.
I've heard that too.
That's all I got.
It's usually
hate
some kind of a
girlfriend.
sativa. I've heard the same thing about from TGA Genetics, the orangey one, the Miss
Tangy?
Jill's. No,
Agent Orange
Agent Orange or Jelly Bean.
Oh,
I can't
I agree with that for a minute. Red, I did confirm though, those clones you were talking about when I was over, that is where you were getting them, and Agent Orange is one of them. TGA Genetics, a lot of them. Yep.
Yeah, they used to sell TGA.
He immediately asked, he goes, does he still have it?
Orange seeds.
Which one?
my Orange Dream Haze that I
Yeah,
run.
Agent Orange.
My Orange Dream Haze that I run is a Jelly Bean cross.
Okay.
So that's where the orange is coming from.
I had both the orange Jelly Bean and the I'll call it Sprite, because it was somewhere in between like a lime and a Durban. But I feel like I maybe had a third phenotype, but I think it was similar terps, just grew differently. But I mean, with Clementine, Durban, limes, it's just kind of like it never. There was never anything additional to it. It's not even like a volume or frost production or anything like that. It was delicious terps. You know, everything about it was great, but it just didn't beat out what I already had.
I picked up. See, let me know if you've heard of either of these two strains. I just picked up a little while ago from Exotic Nurseries, from actually Cement City area. So they're pretty close to here. They have tissue cultured clones that are like guaranteed clean. And anyway, so I picked up some Banana Conda, which I heard is supposed to be a good hasher. And then I also picked up Flow Root, which I'm assuming is like Flow. I'm assuming it's a Flow cross, but it's called Flow Root.
How about that one, Red?
We just brought some Flow home. Oh, bro, you got a little Flow, don't you?
Yeah, I think.
What would you describe that flavor as?
Actually, I'll be honest. I've been mixing it with the other ones.
It's more floral, lightly sweet.
Yeah.
I think it smells like a flower.
It's juicy sweet though. It's juicy sweet.
Yeah,
it's honestly, it's more juicy, fruity sweet, but not like a specific like lemon or lime or orange. It's just like that, like almost like juicy fruit, if you will, like just kind of like that kind of juicy, fruity sweetness, like you're saying. But yeah, I get that floral right when I open the bag, but not
like pinpoint it, but it was like lemon head, but like you know, fruitier, almost like a candy, like lemon candy, but not lemon head specifically. Like that's why I can never pinpoint it. But yeah,
it
definitely
like hits you in the middle of the nose. It's not way up there, you know, but it's
the lower. Hella sesquiterpene. It holds. It's a good one. Maybe that's what that is, and why it's lower like that.
Yeah, the effects are always what kind of drew me to or from Flow. You know, whereas it's not always. I guess there's sometimes that the effects do outweigh the terpenes if it's something that you don't have in your quiver. You know what I mean?
I feel that way about that triple burger run. It's like I'm not
dude. That is exactly how I felt about it.
I'm not a big fan of those terpenes that the triple burger have, those GMO terpenes, but I love the high that it brings. So
yeah,
I'll smoke the shit out of it.
Is it like intoxicating to you and the high?
Dude,
yeah, the high is. Yeah, the high is like
heavy on your eyelids and shit.
Yeah, heavy met your whole body, heavy on your whole body.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the most indica, like sleepy inducing. Couldn't open my eyes, like just I mean, complete opposite from most of the stuff I'm growing. Yeah, the effects were crazy on it. You know,
I mean, okay, baked. Now, did you harvest those at like 30% amber or milky trichomes? How what was the stage of growth of the trichome?
I could tell you it wasn't 30% amber because I ran it and it would have been probably a lot darker, I would assume.
Baked, are you there? Are you there, Baked?
What? Are we talking about triple
He's back.
burger?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dan, I was
well,
asking you a
reset.
question.
Oh, I didn't know we were. I
Heavy
thought we were
iron.
talking about
Oregon
different
Trail
shows.
again?
I said, how did it come on me?
Did you at least make it to Utah yet?
Oh,
I heard you
was
say
just
baked,
asking.
but I thought you fucked up and meant for Growling. I was like, I'm just gonna let that slide. And then, yeah, all right. No, I don't. Let me check my phone real quick. I probably have pictures. I know I checked
I don't
most of
think
them.
we had. I don't think we had much amber in it when we harvested.
But if
No,
it was,
like I
it was
usually
really
little
gives
don't.
you that sedative effect, at clear trichomes, I wonder, if you did push it to the little amber, if it'd be,
That's
super
true.
The thing with
sedative.
tough though is that it's basically like an OG, a little bit of an OG mixed in with a lot of back crossing to GMO. So it's basically GMO. So excuse me, it's a long flowering strain anyway. So even
How many days? Did you guys
how many
go?
days did we take that, Baked?
Most of them went like 69,
plus?
70, and
So-
then there's like two.
So a little
Two
bit early,
phenos.
kind of really, compared to GMO.
Yeah, because yeah, that's the thing. Some of them probably could have taken earlier than that, but I just like to see what they do. But then there's two phenos that we waited till like 77 or 78, and because they were real GMO related, in my opinion.
Right on.
September. I think these are it. I'll send these. I'll get them up in a second. More than a second, but.
That's what he said.
No, now we got the Spartan Pukes and they're loving it. I ran out of CO2. I had to rig up a 20-gallon or pound.
Sounds like you need to set up a fish tank.
Yeah. Yeah, get a bunch of like Anthias or Basilettes, school of Basilettes.
It's like McDonald's up in there. They're loving it, huh?
They are loving it.
Alright, I sent it. Now I just gotta do this. But no, I just ran out finally. So it took a whole flowering cycle with 27 or 28 phenos of triple burger, 67, 70-ish days, let's average, and then a week of 20 phenos of Spartan Puke. So that's pretty good for a 50-pound tank.
That is pretty badass.
It's
How many
27.
tanks
It's
do you
like,
have?
I only
Just
got two 50 pounds right now. I want to get two more, one for the next flower room
We
and
got
then
a
a swap
20 pounder.
out one.
We got a 20
But
pounder.
I got two 20 pounders as well, but I use CO2 in the house room too.
What are you running in your veg? Do you CO2
A,
supplement?
a 50, yeah. I just do it like 200 ppm lower than flour.
Okay.
Or 100 or something. It's close
And
to
what do you-
flour.
I run like 1500 in flour with like a 200 dead band. What do you
Oh,
run?
see, I'm only running like 800 with
800.
like a 250 dead band. So like
Okay.
you'll see it at like 1100 at most, but yeah.
I don't know. Them GMO lights, man, they throw down so good. Them plants can take that.
We don't even have the GML lights in there yet. We're running the HLVs.
Shit.
Those
Yeah, I think it'll
Scorpions
still
still.
be fine.
Yeah, they still
The
got
next,
heat.
the next room will
I
have
don't
the
know.
GMLs.
Quantum boards, man, they rock, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
I got
So
I
far,
found
we
a
don't have any issues with them.
260 watt quantum board that was put up the other day. I was like, oh, I should throw this in the flower room.
Oh man, Baked Steak Man's tagged me in chat and said he found 12 regular seeds, so a pack of Donny Burger for $2.50.
Oh, I know. TJ and I were talking about buying another pack. Apparently, Skunk House has them on his site.
That's what he's saying. He's looking at.
I told you I'm on restriction for buying seeds.
Yeah, is that why you're looking at something else to buy? So what's the good? So what's good? What's the good of being on restriction?
Well, the thing is, we might have a chance at something that other people better than Dying Burger because we have a Dying Burger.
You're right.
But so I was thinking the run would be Donny Burger, and then I got Papa Burger, which is somebody Google it, Papa Burger. It's Skunk House, but it's Donny Burger times something.
Okay.
And then we have a chance at something I never heard about, which is called Purple Donny.
Papaya / modified banana times Donny Burgers. Papa
Yep.
Burger.
Okay.
So that one's gonna wash like a mofo.
And that's gonna be a weird flavor.
And then we have Purple Donnie from Skunk House.
What's a purple Donnie?
It's like no, I'll have to ask him and get with us back
Purple
tomorrow.
sliders? Or is it something else?
It's like he got it from Respect. So Respect works with Skunk and is really the grower. And he messes with him and he traded like Han Solo Burger and stuff. And he got like Special Larry. That was the strain. I was like, oh, we gotta pop that. But he also got Purple Donnie from him, and we're like, what is that? It's like unreleased or something like that.
It's on Skunk House?
Yeah, it's Skunk House.
Because I got a new release from April of Purple Sliders. That's modified punch cross with Triangle Kush / Donnie Burger.
No, it said I saw the pack. It said Purple Donnie.
Okay, yeah, I don't see it on their site.
I just don't remember what it was, but here's the trikes for burger.
Is that what we're putting in? That's the triple burger, yeah. Yeah.
That's not what. That's not what. There's some clear still. Like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure these.
Yeah, so it's amazing that it gives you such a.
There's some amberage, I remember some places, but yeah. It's I think I don't know.
Bake,
like
did you?
Nice whiteheads.
Have you? I don't know. God, I can't remember. So this is going to be a fail unless some of you guys can. Unless one of you guys have come across this on IG. Someone on IG is using AI to track trichome production, and
that's sick.
I think Superior Buds brought it up on the show on Friday, and he's essentially tracking the maturity of it, I think the density or something like that of it, the size of it, and then
how
numbering them. He's taking
like
a picture,
like a microscope like we use.
Yeah, microscope, just like a picture like that. But then the AI is tracking and numbering each individual one, taking sizes.
Oh my god!
I think they're maybe scanning maybe what you can see through it to see the density of it, obviously the color of it, and they just programmed AI to just within seconds tell you everything about the trichomes in that picture. That discussion led to quote unquote breeding for hash production, in which I had to start attacking everybody on. But I think the AI thing is cool. Sorry, say that again, Dave.
I said I need that app you're talking about.
Right. I'm sure. I mean, if someone's smart enough, they'll put it into a an iPhone app where you can just zoom in, take a picture, and tell you something about it. But
that's crazy.
Bake, what was the cross on that Government Oasis that was a big hit with both me and Emily?
Yeah, dude, I really like that one. It wasn't super terpy on dry, but as soon as you start curing it, it's like bam.
And that was a good
one.
I
got I bet if I weighed it out, I got a half pound of plant. Between that and one fatso, I probably got a pound.
Fucking nice. Do you keep that one?
Yeah.
You
got Government Oasis? Fuck yeah. I'm breeding with it. Chernobyl's getting hit with it.
Nice.
Just for fun. But it was so easy to trim too. So easy to trim. But
that was a good one, man.
I think it was like Gushman's times it's GMO or something.
It's definitely very GMO-y.
I know it's on here. Here it is. All bud. What is this called?
Osbury Farms with the GMO. Yum.
GMO times Gushman's, whatever Gushman's
Osbury
is.
Farms. Shout out to you.
Love
that name.
Here it is. Purple City Genetics. GMO times Gushman's. We know what GMO is. Cushman's times F1 Derb times Gushers.
That was close. I missed the Derb, but
yeah, that's why I really was excited. I remember when he first told me about F1 Derbs just thrown in there for fun. I'm like, all right.
Why not?
Yeah, sounds good to me. But yeah, that one ended up being a banger. So yeah, I think it'll wash good, if not blast good. Who knows?
The high is fucking great, so I would love to feel the concentrate on that one.
Okay, yeah, I think I don't know. I was thinking today, the first run for the next flower room, we might just do a monocrop of GMO. I don't think I've ever done my GMO for the people and stuff.
That's a good inaugural. I like that. We'll smash it.
A GMO run.
Yeah. Maybe we can get some for Girly merch at the same time that says GMO.
Yeah,
dude, I got the crickets right here. It's ready to start pressing.
There you go.
There we go. What would you do? I got my lime skunk shirt here, right?
I
What
did.
would you do? What would you do for a GM ho?
Dude,
I don't know, I'd have
I
to
would
think
do it. I
about
would I would do the GM symbol with the
Yeah.
garden hole leaned against it.
Oh
Well,
Lord,
we
he's
can't
so
sell
literal.
merch with
He's
the
so
GM logo
literal.
on it, but we can get close. You know,
Uh,
caricature it. Well, sorry. What was the GM? What was the second part? I got stuck at
you could have the Monsanto CEO getting high.
So with a garden hole leaned against it.
Oh, okay. That's not as far as I thought you were going to take it.
I don't know.
For them.
Yes.
Hey,
What's for us?
GM Ho shirts, you know.
Yeah.
Our
Tops, even males.
our friend, yeah, not your grandma 313 or Snosberry Farms.
Mhm.
She said she would tie dye them for us.
Oh,
Sick.
I love tie dye.
Oh
I
my
think
god.
she's chat under sesh for a cause.
Yeah, she's also sesh for a cause.
Okay, nice. I think she was in here earlier
Yeah.
in chat.
Did someone say tie dye? We ready to tie dye? Let's go.
I love tie dye. I always wear tie dye, and she did a lot of them. She's really cool.
Well, this is what happens when you have kids around. You just have tie dye ready at the ready. Just anytime there's a blank shirt that's getting old, let's go. Okay, let's go tie dye.
You get a stain on it. Time tie dye.
Yeah.
White shirts are scary. I don't know how you do it for Drooly.
I don't either, actually. Typically, I just wear them in this studio and then take them off and not wear them again until the next
My
time.
white shirts want a taste of everything I'm having. So,
I mean, my hat, I got Sharpie on this hat, as you can see here. This hat is like, I don't know, 2 months old. Somehow
I'm gonna have to get me one of them for Growly hats. So
I still got some. Let's Michigan Gems and Gen X, and probably the traveling circus event on November 18th, and I don't know. We'll see if they last past that, but I've got maybe a dozen and a half left, something like that.
excellent.
Think they'll ever make a hat gun like they make a shirt gun?
I think if you can think of it, it already exists baked.
Okay, let's see.
You like one of those little like skeet shooter things, so it can like whip it out like a disc.
Like a ninja?
Yeah,
style?
it'd be maybe like a slings hat, slings hats or something.
Like a skeet.
Auto load.
Oh, skeet.
I don't know if you could do it, dude. I don't see one out there, so if anybody wants to make one, I'll buy it.
What caliber are you looking for?
Whoa, dad hat or a flat bill.
Oh, you're talking dad hats? Oh yeah, you could turn
Yeah,
those.
can't be a trucker because the air would just go through the back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you'd be able to launch that very far.
I mean, I think
All right, the
you're using your head
RSO is
for a
working.
backstop.
If I'm coming up with good inventions, the
What if
RSO
it
is
was,
working.
a hat wrapped around a t-shirt, because the filter, just kind of wrap the hat around the t-shirt, dad hat style, shoot that sucker, use the t-shirt.
I was thinking, have you ever heard of Atlatl?
Yeah.
Oh,
You might be able to Atlatl a hat pretty good.
Atlatl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
It's
is
like a
that?
spear. It's like a spear thrower that
I got-
like the
I got-
Aborigines used to use.
Yeah. I got a
They
feeling
were
that it
able
was
to
just,
like throw a spear crazy far and hard because of it, but they're hard to kind of get a hold of.
Throw
Like
that
to
with
hang up.
it's like using a stick to throw another stick. That's
Can
kind
you
of what it is.
Because I can't see it.
In that case,
I'll share my screen. Hold on. I got to pull up.
Yeah, it's a weird spelling, so I would have had to first Google that.
ATL or something.
We had anthropology class and they took us out to try one and everyone's just fucking up because it's hard.
It's literally under spear thrower.
You have to, yeah, spear thrower.
You want to share my screen?
Yep.
So ATL.
Click
Atlanta,
the little
Atlanta.
stick figure image.
Oh, the stick figure one. Hold on, let's go back.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's a fan. So like, it notches on the back of the spear, which it's like an arrow, but it's like as long as a spear.
Cool.
And then, but
Why
it's
is
just
the-
there's nothing really holding it on other than that latch and your momentum of going forward, and then.
So are you using the spear to get the hat from point A to point B, or are you just using the lever?
I was thinking just the lever.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking
Somehow designed for a hat.
Dangerous.
Yeah, but I think the hat's
Now I'm looking at it, it might not be the greatest idea.
Modify.
I'll
yeah,
stick
there's got to be
growing.
modified
You
versions.
get better
right?
off of just grabbing the hat. And
Look at that
throwing it
guy
like-
throwing one.
throwing it
Oh,
like
here
a
we go. Look at
Oh,
that.
that thing bent. That bent like crazy. They're flexible as hell then.
Yeah, but they'll just go and they'll go. Yeah, they're
Yes.
dangerous, especially in primitive times when all you had was melee. Maybe
Now we have
some bows.
javelins.
I think it's just as dangerous as today as it would be then. I don't think the danger.
Well, it's
changes.
silent. It's just like in PUBG. The danger about the crossbow is it could take out your buddy walking next to you, and you wouldn't even know it because it's a silent weapon. It's 100% silent.
Billy?
Well,
Billy
if you
next
didn't
to
even know
Billy?
it, then it didn't happen to you, so it's not even scary.
Yeah, well, when you get into a firefight and you're a man short, then you're like, "What the hell?" And he tells you, damn Matt Laddle took me out silently."
Then you know it. You told me you wouldn't know it. See, so your whole story's false already.
I think you could use a little slingshot. You could like slingshot the hats.
I think you just take the hat and throw it like a frisbee. They've already got it.
Yeah, that's probably what. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. I used to disc
Oh,
off.
these ain't white hats, are they?
Well, they're for goalies.
Don't be throwing my white hat, please.
Hopefully,
Big
don't.
fan of like medieval siege engines, things like trebuchets, catapults.
Oh, we're just Trojan horse them.
Did you ever check out Punkin' Chunkin'? You'd probably like that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
We should do
that's
that.
good stuff. I wonder if they do it up here in the Gander.
For
In
sure.
the Gander, what does that mean?
Gander Mountain?
Sometimes I call Michigan the Gander because I call Michigan people Michiganders. And then,
I get it.
and then I call it the Gander, kind of like they call it the Ozark, even though it's not, we're up here in the Gander. Fuck off.
I never heard it called that bullshit.
Well,
No, I
now
think
I
that's a
just
new
coined
thing.
it.
Yeah.
I just coined it. If you want to call Michigan the Gander,
I don't think it's gonna
you
stick,
can.
man. I'm sorry.
I think it's going to. I'm making sure.
Sorry, buddy.
I got a better
I'm
one.
gonna stick it to a shirt.
I'm gonna say
sorry.
Michiganja. I think that's gonna be more popular.
Michiganja is
Like
yeah,
it.
it's already
Like
there.
it. Like
There is a there's a website called the Gander Newsroom.
Yeah, they're talking about looking around and like gandering
about the
gandering,
news.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
like law and policy and
Like
Michigan
like
life,
that.
and history and business. I'm sure we could trademark some version of it for you.
Yeah, but no, Spartan. Earlier you were asking we're not doing the Donnie run next. Next
what
is
are we doing?
Purple Urkel. I'm getting the Purple
That's
Urkel
right.
out.
Purple Urkel.
Then we're doing clay pipes RS11 times blue, and then Donnie.
Okay.
So it's a couple months away.
So we're okay. So we'll do a GMO run in the flower room when it's finished.
Yeah, I want to do at least one monocrop so we can get some flour and maybe split out a table to like some hash and stuff.
Okay.
And
then we could just pheno hunt.
then we can pheno hunt. Yeah. Then I just want
We'll get through some seeds so that you can get off restriction and
buy
tell
more.
yourself you can buy them again. Yeah.
By then I'll have my fish tanks going, so that'll be fine.
By then you'll have your own seeds. You'll probably want to go through.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I'll have the Chernobyl
That'd be
F2s, RS11 times.
I mean, Biggs,
Chernobyl.
how long do you think those seeds are viable for that you're spending so much money on? I mean, don't you have to get through them eventually anyway?
They're probably viable for like 30 years. I'm thinking.
I don't think you're right.
Old seeds pop.
I popped some pretty goddamn old Vortex seeds in the
I mean,
album.
they can. I mean, you can do things to help that too. But I'm just saying, man.
I'm still in water, tap water.
Oh well.
It's just worth the risk to you. Just, okay.
Yep.
I
haven't had any fail like too bad. I've had normal fail rates, like 2 out of 12.
What's the oldest seeds
like,
you popped in in terms of like a whole pack or like more than just a couple?
I can't count the Chernobyl because I didn't pop those, and they fucked it up by leaving.
That was bad. That was a bad rate right
We had
there.
20 Chernobyls, and they got it was user error for sure.
They got like 1, 2.
No, we got 3, 2 males and 1 female. And but
that's how you make more though, right? Spartan's like, yeah.
I don't know the oldest seed to pop. Probably Indigo Daydream. Those are pretty old.
How old? 3-4 years more?
Yeah, probably 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
What was your germ rate on that? Do you remember?
It was like 80%, 85.
That's pretty good.
It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad. I did have a lot of them. I had like 3 or 4 packs. But I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see.
How important is or what percentage of importance is storage when it comes to being able to germ those, 4 to 30 years down the road?
I'd say storage is pretty important.
Like 90% of the importance, or more?
Versus what other
What else is there?
variables?
Yeah. What
So
else is there?
storage is really everything because storage is temperature, light, which hopefully
Humidity.
your packs are already in Mylar or something, and then humidity. So like get something that's sealed.
Yeah.
Those, tubs and
That way you don't have to deal with humidity.
that,
Right?
or I mean, some people do the fridge method. If I don't have a problem if you know that you're gonna not pop those for a long time doing the fridge method.
Why is that?
The issue with the fridge method that I learned from the podcast, one of the episodes there, I forget who was talking about the C's, but when you take it in and out of the different temperatures, you're creating a chance for condensation on the inside of the pack.
Yeah,
and that's
which
what
could
you
make them
wanna
want to
avoid.
germinate, right?
Yeah, it'll be a half-ass bullshit.
Right, and
yeah.
it's not going to do it again, right?
And then
What
you're
do you
gonna be like,
mean?
they were duds.
What do you mean? Who's taking them in and out? You just take them out and germinate them. What do you mean?
But that's what he's saying. If you're
It's
going to keep it
just-
in there for a long time, maybe you're not like, I don't know, maybe
Well,
you want
like
to keep them for 30
sometimes I
years. but you're
sort
gonna go through
mine,
10
and
fridges,
sometimes I plan it out and stuff. So mine I don't keep in the fridge though. I just keep it in an airtight tub in a HVAC house.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah.
we'll
I
see.
keep mine in a cigar box.
These CSI are pretty old, dude. These CSI are probably my first collection, so we're talking like 2018, 19. And I don't know when he made them because they're purple Urkel crosses. So we'll see
I
how
wish-
those go.
All my
The,
seeds
Oh,
the
wow,
purple
nice.
dog bud I did of them were fine. Yeah,
Every-
see, like
right here.
Stackable.
I like
container,
that stackable one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Everything. is
Man, I might switch.
Like,
Have like a really big
Oh,
stack.
hold on, I take it apart at each station. So I've
That's what
got
I'm saying. You could do like
right.
Fems, autos, regulars, or you could do Indica steel, or you
Or
could
top tier.
you could break it down to like gas and fruits.
fruit.
Oh
It'd
yeah.
be fruit, more
So,
fruit.
I got this at like
I want yeah.
got this at Joanne Fabric. They
Maybe
have
bigger
like
ones.
bigger ones that you can get too. That you can for your bigger stashes and all that.
Do they have more opaque ones though? Because one of the things about that is you got to keep that in like a closet or something, right? Because it's
Yeah,
I
well,
would want to.
because I'm getting ready to look through some stuff and pop. So normally we keep this in a nice, cool, dark spot too. So, but most of my stuff is in kind of dark packaging already in Mylars. So, yeah, that's also a nice thing that it's already, kind of, already halfway, the proper way and the way we store it be the right way. So, yeah, definitely cool, dark areas where we usually do this.
Love
But-
for the plant mentions vacuum sealing, which might not be bad.
Maybe.
Sucks all of the condensation out, possibly.
I use
Just
a
gotta be careful you don't smash them.
use a
What,
steel,
Red?
steel ammo box protected from EMF radiation.
There you go.
I want my seeds to get
Love it, Red.
destroyed
Love it.
by the powers that be.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the other day they turned on that thing from your phone. It could have probably fucked up your seeds too.
Yeah, that's right.
That warning
My phone was in my truck,
was
I was-
activating nanites.
long ways away.
My phone was in an ammo box.
I was marked safe.
Yeah, ammo boxes are a good option. They're cheap too. They're gasketed.
some of the oldest ones I have right there.
Golly.
I got some of those. Which
What
ones
do you got there? What do you got there?
Cheesequake.
I like it.
Oh,
9
you got Cheesequake?
I got 9-pound hammer too.
Yeah, but all
And-
right.
GG4 cross with
We
Quirkle.
do have some cheesequakes.
Oh
left.
wow,
What's that one?
Quirkle.
What's the GG4 Quirkle?
When are
Is
you
that-
trying to pop
Quirkle
some
is known to
seeds for
Hermit, we did
Growly?
pop that once before.
Yeah.
We were talking Spartan and I about one day we're gonna do a subcool run
I'm
Yeah.
down. Let's do it.
because
Take
he's
Red
got a
Bull run or
bunch.
something.
I still have Raspberry Smash and I think one other.
Some other
Oh,
old
you gotta
ones.
hunt them
I got
raspberries.
I got a bunch of OG ones too.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of ocean.
Nobody's got
Oh, I
raspberry.
got an ocean grown. I really need to hunt for medical reason.
I got a bunch
That
of those.
was
What do you think of this one?
I got 4 or 5.
Highlander.
Ethos,
Highlander.
nice.
Roadkill skunk.
How many you got left in there? All 3?
All
Nice.
3. I haven't popped them yet.
I
You should
wonder
pop
if it's,
one. You should
it's-
pop
That's
one.
one and it's
All
ethos.
3.
So,
I gotta do this
yeah.
Steel Belts project. I gotta do a
I think.
hunt. I gotta run some of these PB souffle again. They're fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah, peanut butter souffle.
yeah, I got a bunch. I'm gonna do a fem run, and then we really want to do some more grape jelly. The one that we have, dude, it's fucking awesome. I love it. I was breaking some up earlier, and it was just raining. It was just like this continuous screen of just trichomes falling from the bud. I'd be chopping it up, and like every now and then a piece of weed would fall, but the entire time was just trichomes. I was like, oh my god. And but it doesn't grow the best. You know, you actually got a good yield this time, but it's difficult to veg, super finicky. I'd like to find maybe a little larfy. Well, the buds are
Great terps though, man. I love your grape jelly.
it's just so
Amazing.
great. And I
There's
really
nothing red grows that doesn't have great terps.
Oh,
let's be honest.
man.
Sorry for the double negative there, I think, but
okay.
Red, you are the best Jack's farmer I have ever met, and I'm gonna say that across
a
the
lot of jacks.
platform.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
I appreciate that.
For sure.
We don't. Okay, so one thing that I've never wanted to do is push the plant. I've never wanted to use nutrients and fertilizers as like steroids. You know what I mean? I just wanted to create a mineral, a clean mineral solution, water soluble for hydroponics. You know what I mean? So my intentions were never to use anything in addition to what I needed. And when I found out that specific J.R. Peters dry amendment, dry fertilizer, water soluble solution would cover all of the whatever it is, 17 micro macronutrients, and it has everything the plant needs, and it works. And I don't need to use any additional PGRs or boosters, blooms. I don't use anything. I change my pH.
Just say pH up down. That's probably one of them. Maybe.
What's that?
Is that pH up down? That's probably one, right? That's like the only
that, and I use like an Epsom salt, which is
magnesium.
So
you have to.
And every now and then we use Tribus as like a microbial to, if it even does anything, like just get extra minerals for this purpose.
I think it does.
This purpose.
I believe in microbes, absolutely.
Tribus is like a mammoth pea, and I think it does. I do it at the end of flower, though. I don't waste any time.
It's supposed to be specific microbes that farm well in water soluble nutrients specifically. So it's like mammoth pea would probably get better results in like a soil media or having other biology in there. Whereas this is,
you don't want to be necessarily quote unquote sterile or just all salts.
Yeah. So
have you used 3-2-1 recipe, Red, or you tweaked it
I
right now?
use a 3-2-1 recipe, but
tweaked.
But okay,
Yeah.
so the ratio,
Not what they recommend. Yeah.
the ratio is in a 3-2-1 ratio.
Yeah, you can scale it any way you want.
You're right, except I'm not using 3 grams per gallon. What I'm doing is I'm keeping it at a 3-2-1 ratio, but then I'm diluting it up to about 1.4 EC, where I think 3 grams per gallon, 2 grams per gallon, 1 gram per gallon gets you to like 2.0 EC, somewhere in that range. I've never actually done it correctly. But what
I remember looking up somebody's, and it wasn't 3-2-1. It's like 2.86, and then whatever the 2 of that is, and then scale it down to 1.
Yeah,
it's all ratio based, so
and
you can really mess with it.
And when you look at the ratio, what my buddy gave me this random one. It was like 1.75 to, I'm gonna get this wrong, but it was like 1.75 to 1.25 to 0.75 or something like that. And I did the math, and I was like, that's 3 to 2 to 1. And I'm like, okay, so 3 to 2 to 1. Either way you cut it, you get all these different numbers. But that's grams per gallon that they're giving you, because you're specific. Oh, I have to specifically do 10 gallons. But that's not how I do it either. My reservoirs, big 100-gallon reservoir, I look at it, I might have this much water in the reservoir, and I'll look at it and I'll go, well, I'm going to do 30 gallons worth. And so I'll do 3 to 2 to 1. And so I'll do 90 grams. That's 30 times 3, 30 times 2, 30 times 1 of each one of those. And then I'll put them in, and then I'll fill water up until I get to the proper EC that I want, which sometimes it's 1.2, sometimes 1.4, and I might get 40 gallons of water in the tank. I might get 50 gallons of water in the tank. It's all going to depend on what EC that I want to run my plants at the moment. But either way, I'm still in that ratio of 3 to 2 to 1. It's
Yeah.
3 grams per gallon.
And that's what I like about you, Red. You run that real low EC. You're not running them super high EC.
I'm not running high EC.
Plants and, it shows in your product. It really
either. So we're not dumping anything into our septic tank, getting into our leach field, going into our groundwater supply or anything like that.
When I run full canna, and it's not like finicky strains like AJ's or something like that, I can use. I was down to like 900 ppms and everything was thriving.
Nice.
I was like, I like that. And then you go to these other recipes and they're like a lot more.
Yeah,
Red
ppm. Yeah,
Red, I have someone to introduce you to. It's a buddy of mine and a fan of the show. He's actually currently in chat right now. And I actually just introduced Bake to him a couple weeks ago. He runs a Class C grow in Lansing, Michigan. So let's find a time maybe this week if you're available to run up there. He runs Jax 321 and just at the next scale. So I think it'd be very helpful for you to see kind of what that looks like.
Check out their walls when you're there.
that was
so nice.
Cool.
But he said you're welcome to pop in whenever, and
is that Jeff PD in chat?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck name he's going under today, but yeah, that's who is in chat today.
Armistice.
Racer X is normal, I think.
Armistice cannabis.
We don't have too many problems with Jax. It's a simple recipe for us. We follow pretty much the same line. We do a 40-gallon res.
3, 2, 1, just like Red described, pretty much. Yep.
Easy peasy.
What confuses me sometimes is remembering which order to put them in the water. That's
so
harder.
When I started back so like I figured out my ratio, like he was talking about however many grams of A, B, C. And then so let's say it's 3, 2, 1. So then I knew how much I'd be mixing in a bucket or whatever I was using. So let's say it's a 5 gallon, I'd be doing like 4 gallons. So then I did the math, so 3 times 4, and then I'd write that on a card with A or whatever it was, 2 grams for B and 1 gram for C, but then I put them on my cupboard, like in order that I should do them.
I'm lost.
So with Jax for Growly, there's 3 parts. There's A, B, and C. A and B is from Jax, and you go buy Epsom salt, which is your magnesium. You have to do it though, and the ratio is 3, 2, 1, and I think ABC. But either way, you have to do it in a specific order. So you figure out your ratio and your amounts, and then you have to figure out your order, which is usually I think A, C, B.
Oh,
you have to separate. You can't mix A and B because there's a chemical thing or something.
Yeah.
I do the fertilizer, which is your 3. I do my 3 first.
3, yeah, the most first what I usually used to.
And I usually do the 1 right after that, right?
Yeah, which is your mag.
But here's
the Epsom salt.
What you're trying to avoid is like some reactions between the cal nitrate and whatever in the fertilizer. I believe that the calcium or something ends up dropping out of solution. So and the same thing happens when you apply your pH up. So you also want to make sure that you apply your pH up or anything like that you're going to pH with.
There's not monosilicate in there, is there?
No, there's no monosilicate in Jax. If
Because
you want that, you definitely have to add
because that will
power
cause
side or
that
something.
solution to fall out a lot too.
I like the Mammoth silica. I'm not sure.
That's why they tell you to use. Oh, I haven't tried Mammoth yet, but that's why they tell you to use your silica, the first thing.
And honestly, we add it all the time. There's no reason not to.
I use silica up until the middle of flower. I cut it off because then you don't really need stem strength.
Well,
the stems are done growing. But
sorry to interrupt, Brad. You were talking about why the solutions are falling out, and that's why it made me think of silica because I've seen that do that in the past. But what about Jax 321? Why would it?
Yeah, you gotta do that with silica too. But the cow nitrate drops out. But same deal with the pH. But we add the 3 and then the magnesium. Basically, you do the fertilizer and the magnesium sulfate together. But that's not how we mix them. Like I solubilize everything first. Like,
yeah.
I make a tea in a little plastic mixing container, like a paint mixing container. And I add some hot water to my powder because, like I said, I'm only doing like 30 grams at a time.
Huge Jack's tip he just dropped. It's the hot water.
You do 120 grams at a time usually is what I'm keeping, so it's not much. So I mix it in a little quart container, and I use hot water to get it to, basically solubilize faster instead of just dumping my powders into a cold reservoir. So everything's already solubilized. So mixing them happens really fast. Like, it's already diluted. As soon as I dump it into the stock tank, I fucking mix it and it gets diluted. So eventually they're all going to be mixed together.
Do you have a pump mixing the stock tank?
No, I use a fucking hand.
Manual. Okay.
Or just mix it up like that and just rock and roll. It's the way I've just always done it. I have like a little, fish tank pump that I've thought about tossing it and letting it run for whatever.
Certain microbes are sensitive, and
I'm not using extra electricity and shit when I can just fucking spin it real quick. I'm not
like a true Amish over here.
I'm not mixing it.
Jack's is pretty stable, so like
that's what I mean. It's really stable. The pH doesn't fall. Like,
definitely one of the most
settles, man, and it just
because it's just clean.
Oh, that's 3
agricultural
parts.
chemical. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's Epsom salts. It's a cownite, and
like Jeff's saying, like, there's a point where you only need A. We run it all the way through just to keep it. It's probably wasteful.
well, they have other parts now too, which is crazy. They have everything now. If you really wanted to make a different regime, but I don't know how you would implement it.
Last year, I think 2022, summer of 2022 was when the fertilizer prices started going up. So we were anticipating, maybe Jack's being $100 a bag instead of 50 a bag or whatever it was going to end up being.
What is it? Let's see.
It's like, I think you can get 2 25-pound bags of it, which is the part A and the part B, for like $100, something like that. So we got 2 rounds worth. We got
140 right now.
We were able to pick up 6 bags. We got, while it was on sale, and we got 6 bags of part A and 4 bags of part B. So we get like 2 full, deals with. We got it for like $500, dude. I'm not kidding. We've only used 1 bag so far. One of those fertilizer bags.
In what amount of time?
In the last year.
Yeah.
Plus, dude, we got 5 years worth of fertilizer for $500.
And it doesn't go bad. There's no loss in potency or anything.
I hope not. I don't think so. I definitely don't think that it's.
When I was at
as long as it doesn't get wet, right?
Yeah,
I would go through
right.
2 of those bags every 2 days.
Woo!
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Talk about scalability.
Big scale. Yeah, you're definitely scaling up.
Yeah.
And we're using 100-gallon tank. It's 90 gallon to operate 18 plants, and we fill that up about once a week.
How much water are you going through, or how much feeding solution are you going through, gallon wise, per week? Was that 290s, Red?
Yeah, well, if we're at full capacity and both of our rooms are operating, we're going through about 200 gallon. Yeah, let's call it about 250 gallons a week, something like that.
So how many lights of flour at full
That would be
production?
72 plants. That would be running.
How many lights worth?
12 lights.
12 lights, so
6 plants, 6 lights for 30.
What is that? 20 gallons per light per week. Sorry, I'm doing math right now. This is a horrible decision to do this late in the show. I'm just trying to figure out how much water per light you're using in terms of a week, because I think that's a better idea than plants.
All right. Oh yeah. Okay. So each res is on 3 lights. Let's knock these numbers down a little smaller. We can figure this out. And I'm getting.
I have the calculator pulled up.
I just do it per 24 hour because that's what you need to know for your dehumidification.
250 gallons divided by 12 lights is
90
gallons per light.
90 gallons for 3 lights in a week.
60 seconds.
30 gallons per 4 by 30 gallons per light per week.
Okay.
Which sounds about that's about average. That's about what I run on my 4x4. So I run about a 20 to 30 gallon res in a week. I'm not overflowing.
Yeah.
I'm not using runoff. I'm only feeding.
Oh yeah.
Feeding, drying back.
Hey, Red. Right before we close, what's your best tip for cloning?
Cut it at an angle. I don't know. Sterile.
That was not what I expected.
I'm thinking of surface. I mean, obviously sterile.
I'll jump in and say a healthy mother plant that you're cutting. Yeah, you're cutting from. That makes a
Water your mom. Don't let it
take it in the morning. Their morning. It seems to help too, rather than at night.
when they're drooping
And
out.
keep those suckers humid.
Yeah,
Keep them humid, everyone.